Welcome, everyone, to a live session on the topic of depression and anxiety from being empathic. Depression and anxiety from being empathic. Sorry, I wasn't able to come on last week. I was in a cold state and I was in so many different events and parties, and then when I got back to home, I caught a flu because it was just I spent a lot of energy during the conference. So sorry that I had to cancel at the last minute. So thank you so much for joining me and to let me do this once again of the topic of depression, anxiety for being empathic. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Jocelina. How are you? Heidi, I gotta look you up when I'm in Boulder, girl. I love that town. It's one of my favorite places of all places in the US. And I love Boulder, Colorado. I love it there. And it brings me back so much beautiful memories of when I started my spiritual and holistic living journey was really in the mountains of Colorado outside of Boulder. That's where I spent 1 month in a Buddhist meditation center there. So I have really, really fond memories. Okay. Hi, Blanca. How are you? Hi, Esther. How are you? Okay. So I'm assuming that maybe for some of you who are empathic, whether you have an awareness of it or not, that you might be experiencing some anxiety and depression. Because empaths have their energy centers open and they're able to receive. That's why with empaths they tend to be very compassionate. So in this talk, I'm going to go over some of the signs that you could look out for to determine if you're an empath and what you should do when all this energy is coming at you. What are some of the tools and tips you could do to be able to clear those low frequency energies? So let's just clear the energy of the room and then we'll get right into the topic. Just relax, breathe naturally, stay present in the now. Dear angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, divine creator, thank you so much for allowing us to create this sacred space on the topic of being depressed and anxiety ridden due to being empathic. Thank you so much for allowing us to have and create this sacred space and have these beautiful engagements and conversations with these beautiful souls in this room and even beyond, that we are exchanging wonderful conversations and discussions on this topic, and that you are protecting this room and removing any low frequency energies that do not belong in this sacred space. So thank you so much for allowing this session to go off without a hitch, to be with flow, ease, peace, and serenity. And so it is. Namaste. Okay. So, oftentimes what happens is that people are anxious and they're depressed and they don't even realize why they are. And it's because they're empathic and they don't realize that they're empathic. So empaths, in the human design, they have a certain energy center that's open. And empaths their energy centers tend to be open. And so when it's open, you're able to receive energies from the outside world, from others, or even from the planet. And so being an empath is great and it's not so great. It's yin and yang. It's two-sided coin. On the one hand, being an empath makes you able to read others well because you're able to take in their energy. And so empaths make wonderful energy healers because of that, or just healers in general, because they're able to feel what other people are feeling, the people around them that they're trying to help. On the other side of the coin is that it could be bad because you're taking in all this energy and you don't even realize you're taking in this energy because you don't realize you're an empath. And when you start taking in all of this low frequency energy you start to taking in, that could lead to stress, anxiety, confusion. because it's too much. Think about it. If you're taking low frequency energy from this person, low frequency energy from here, low frequency energy, and you don't even realize that you're absorbing this because you're an empath, think about what that's going to lead emotionally and eventually physically. It will lead to physical ailments because the mind, body, spirit, emotions are all tied into one. And so often what happens is empaths, when they start to get this depression and anxiety and stress, they don't know why. They think it's something with them. They don't realize that it's really from the outer world. They don't even realize it because they don't understand that they're empaths. They don't understand that it's coming from somewhere else, from an outside source, and they're absorbing it. And they're doing this without even having an awareness of it. And so they start to get anxiety, they start to get stressed, they start to which can lead to depression. And then they think something's wrong with me, right? Empaths often, because they're such compassionate people, they don't like to blame others. They will blame themselves before they realize that it's really not even their own fault that they're feeling depressed, anxious, and stressed. And they don't know why. They're just feeling it because they're holding on to all this low frequency energy and they're not even aware that they're holding on to these frequencies that are not helping them. And so often with empaths, they don't even have an awareness. And so think about how, especially as a child, if you're an empathic child, that's why when you see empathic child, and children could easily, because children are the greatest absorbers of energy, right? They're like sponges. And so when children who are empaths and don't even realize they're empaths, and their parents don't even realize they're empaths, are absorbing all this maybe low frequency energy. Maybe they're in a family or a home situation that's not very good, where the parents are always fighting, right? And you've got this, 8-year-old child who's absorbing all this low frequency energy. Think about what that's going to do to that child. And the child is so confused, stressed, anxiety, depressed, right? So think about how damaging that could be for a child. And then sometimes when parents see a child like that, that is so sensitive, highly sensitive, some parents don't know how to parent that type of child. Sometimes the parenting isn't really the right way for that empathic child. And that's where a lot of parents, because they don't realize their child is empathic, they don't realize that their way of interacting with that empathic child is not the right way. And so the children, they don't get the right support or guidance as an empathic being. And then this could lead to other problems as they're growing up. So being an empath, like I said, it's a two-sided coin. There's beauty in it, and then there's the downside, where when they are taking in all this low frequency energy and holding on to it, they think it's theirs and they don't understand that it's really coming from the outside. And so I really want to address this because I know that many of you are probably empathic, as I am. I'm very empathic. And when I realized that, wow, this energy is not mine, and I was able to do a lot of energetic cleansing, right? So all about taking energetic showers. I was able to manage my empath in the right way. And so this is what I really want to get into today. Okay, so hi, Carolyn. So if you have any questions or comments about this issue or even others, let me know. Uh, you are looking better. That's good to see. I heard to work. I need to go to work soon, but we'll watch the video later. Just want to let you know you are being thought of and appreciate all you do. Oh, thank you so much, Carolyn. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you and the beautiful energy that you're bringing. And thank you so much for the well wishes. And I do feel a lot better. I do feel a lot better. I took so much. I was religiously taking my Chinese. If I didn't take my Chinese herbs, let me tell you, my flu would have gotten a lot worse. I was able to basically nip my flu and manage my flu. Within about 2 days, it started to disappear. Normally, if I didn't take those herbs and really take care of myself, it might have taken me 5 days, 6 days. but it took me 2 days because and I ate a lot of pho, the Vietnamese pho. I ate so much of that, everything liquidy. I took my Chinese herbs religiously. I drank lots of herbal teas, and it really helped. Blanca says, my kiddo is having a hard time in middle school due to this. Oh my God, yes. But you know what, Blanca? The fact is this is you're you're way ahead of the game because you understand. Like you have an awareness of what's going on with your child, right? Your empathic child. Most parents don't even realize what's happening to their child. And because they don't realize what's happening to their child, that they are empathic, they don't know how to respond or manage in the right way. And I don't, I'm not, and it's not that they're trying to be bad parents. They're trying to do the best that they can. But when they are not, when they don't have an awareness that their child is empathic, right? It's harder to manage that. It's harder to respond to that. It's harder to, communicate with their child in a way that's going to be for their highest and best good. And it's not that the parents don't want to give their child the best care, it's that they have no awareness. It's a lack of knowledge. And so the fact that, Blanca, that you know that your child is empathic, you're already 50% there. You are already 50% there because with that awareness comes a lot of empowerment. And you're able to interact with your child in a much more constructive way. So I want to send you and your child lots of blessings. And thank you so much for recognizing that in your beautiful child. It's a real gift. Um, I was wondering about what you took. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I took a lot of astragalus. I took this powder. The astragalus is the main Chinese herb for boosting your immune system. And I'm taking three formulas. One is called Jiao Yao Shen. God, I don't have the formulas in front of me. It's in my kitchen. Jiao Yao San. The other one is called Lu Jiao Shao. Oh my God, I wish I knew. It's like three different formulas. And a lot of the formulas are helping me to boost my energy. I also took a formula that really supports my liver chi, my liver. And the astragalus is to boost my immune system. So there are other formulas that I could have taken, but what happened was when I got back, I was in Nashville, and when I got back, that's when it happened immediately. So there's probably even better formulas that I could have taken, but because it came on so quickly that I took the formulas that I have in my home and they seem to be working. But I'm sure there are other forms because in Chinese medicine, there's actually a formula right before you get really sick, it's like a formula when you start getting the symptoms. And then there's formulas when you have the symptoms that are, fully broken out. And then there's formulas for when the symptoms are dying out. So actually, Chinese herbs has different formulas for different stages of your flu and cold. So, but I took what I had because for me to order new formulas, it would have taken me a few couple of days to even arrive. So I just kept on, I took the formulas that I had but I wish I had the formulas in front of me. I would tell you what they were, what they are. Um, Carolyn asks, just wondering if the area you live in causes problems in how you feel. Yes, absolutely. Because think about it. Your environment, and in Chinese medicine, your environment affects your mental, emotional, physical health. Chinese medicine is looking at a holistic approach. That's why when you usually go see a Chinese medicine practitioner, they ask not about just where your pain is, they ask about your lifestyle, what's going on in your life, because it's everything. So if your area feels low frequency, the area doesn't feel like it's supportive, it's positive energy, of course it's going to affect you. Of course it's going to affect you. Whether it's your home, whether it's the town that you live, whether it's the city that you live, it's going to have a huge impact. There's no question about it. And so that's why we all want to try to live in places and areas that where we feel like we can thrive, where we feel empowered, where we feel like our our soul has come home, right? You really do want to pick areas that you feel like you belong, you feel aligned with your soul, where where some certain areas you're not going to feel that way, right? So absolutely. And in Chinese medicine, they look at everything. They look at where you live, what you eat, what your diet is, what your stress level is, how much stress do you have. They look at everything, because any of those things can block your chi energy. So, absolutely. So, maybe reevaluate whether the place that you live is somewhere where you want to continue to stay. And I think over time, nobody says that you have to move right now, Carolyn, but over time, maybe you'll know for sure that you need to make a move. Maybe it doesn't have to even be a big move. Maybe it could be a move to the next town or maybe a few miles. Maybe it's just moving to a different home or a different apartment. Maybe it doesn't have to even be moving to another town or another state or another country. It could be maybe even small moves, things like that. Okay, you're welcome, Blanca. You're welcome. Okay, so let's get into some of the signs if you don't have other questions or comments that you want to ask. Let's get into some of the signs that you know that you're an empath. Because you might say, well, how do I know I'm an empath? Or how do I know my child is an empath? How do I know? There are indications of being an empath. So, one of the indications is that when you're around people who are maybe low frequency energy, and I like to use this example of low frequency versus high frequency because we're talking about anxiety, stress, depression, right? So when you're around people who are low frequency, maybe they're negative, they complain, you might call them toxic, whatever you want to call them, and you could almost feel like their pain or somebody in front of you that has maybe some physical pain. Like they're like, "Oh, my knee is hurting me. Oh, or my shoulders." And all of a sudden you get pain in your body or somebody is being negative and all of a sudden you feel your energy kind of just draining, and you feel like, oh my God, my energy is just draining. That's a real sign that you're an empath. But even a physical thing, so if somebody has pain physically, they have, let's say your grandmother has pain, has some leg pains or something, and all of a sudden you start feeling pain in your body, that means you're empathic because you're taking on her energy, right? You're taking on those person's energy. That's a sign that you're an empath. Another sign that you're an empath is um, when you feel like when you're around people, and even sometimes like when you're like at conferences or events or things like that, where there's people and groups of people, and after you leave, you feel your energy is completely drained, like very lethargic. And it's not that the people at these groups or conferences or events are negative. It's that there's so much energy around you, right? In these groups, conferences, you have a lot of energies. And the energies will be mixed. Some will be higher energy, some will be lower, some be medium, right? But there's too many energies. And so as an empath, you're kind of absorbing all this energy, right? All around you because you're at this conference. I mean, I'm going to a conference next week that's 90,000 people. 90,000 people. Oh my God. I have to prepare myself energetically for those types of conferences, literally. I wear I mean, I bring my black dragon crystal. I wear it. I do lots of energy cleansings before I go. I ask the dragon to put an energetic shield around me. And I mean, I do so many things before I go to this conference. It's 90,000 people. And it's the health conference, a health conference. And the conference is great. You meet a lot of great people from all over the world. But it's just after the conference, my energy is completely drained. And so, and so I have to protect myself constantly when I go to things like that. Okay, so number three is empathic. People feel a lot of compassion for other people. They're very sensitive too, and they feel compassion for others, and they're very sensitive to others. And and the reason why they're compassionate is so sensitive to others, think about it. If you're taking on the energy of others, you would have compassion, right? Because you were like, oh my God, that person, I feel that person's pain. And there's empathy with that. There's compassion that comes to that, right? And there's sensitivity to other people that comes with that, right? If you can feel other people's pain, other people's sorrows, other people's things, then you're naturally going to have more compassion than somebody who can't, who can't feel other people's pain, right? So for instance, narcissistic people generally, they're kind of the opposite of empaths because narcissists is really about them and they can't feel other people's pain. So therefore, they don't have the compassion for others. But if you're feeling other people's pain, you're going to have compassion. And sometimes the compassion for empaths goes so high that it actually hurts them. So they may have compassion for people that's behaving badly because they're really feeling the people who behave badly often is that they need help themselves. And so the empath realizes that that person is misguided. That person really needs help. And so they have compassion for the fact that the person is behaving badly, but there's a root cause as to why they're behaving badly. And they have a compassion for that. So sometimes the compassion that they have becomes misguided or it goes above board. It really goes so far that sometimes they might it might get misguided, that they're giving compassion, too much compassion to people who need to learn lessons. So they might make excuses for the people. They might do this. They might say, well, the person grew up in a bad household and the person didn't have money, like they might make excuses. So that's also somebody who's very empathic because they're kind of feeling the underlying cause of why somebody's behaving badly. And if there's no healthy boundaries, it could be detrimental for the empath because they might be getting involved with people that they shouldn't be getting involved with. That's going to create problems for themselves, for their life, right? Usually, people who create problems, if you stay with them, then they're going to eventually create problems for you. And so the empath's compassion and sensitivity can sometimes go too far, can go too far. And that's where empaths have to learn to set healthy boundaries, that they're not getting themselves involved with situations that are ultimately going to harm them because they're too compassionate and they're very sensitive to others. Okay. Hi, Ella. Hi, Lydia. Ella says, I avoid news because some make me feel like crying, especially sad news. Oh God, Ella, I am with you. I am so with you. There are so many things that I cannot watch, and I cannot watch animals that are suffering. That is something that I absolutely cannot watch. I like you, I would start crying. If I saw animal suffering or abuse, I would start crying. And there's news, there's so much news. Oh my God, I have to limit myself with news myself because there's so many sad news. You see so many people suffering around the world. You see wars, you see this, you see that. And it's really hard for us empaths to take those news in. I'm with you, girl. I am with you, Ella. Oh, I could start crying if I see an animal that's like really skinny because it didn't eat for weeks on end or whatever, and an owner kind of mistreated them. Oh my God. I can go into tears easily watching something like that or other people suffering. It's really hard for me. It's really hard. So getting back to the signs, these are some of the sure signs that you are an empath. And along with the compassion, a lot of sensitivity. So that's why when you have a child that's very sensitive, they might be an empath. They might be an empath. that they're taking in too much energy, and they're taking in energies like these negative energies around them, and then they're holding it in, and they're confused. The child is confused. The child doesn't know. The child starts to get depressed, gets stressed, anxiety. And the child is not ever going to know, usually, because the child doesn't know that they're empathic and they don't know how energy works, right? And so be aware if you are a parent, definitely like is it Blanca? I think it was Blanca. Be aware of that your child might be an empath and communicate in a way with them that make allowing them to know that they are supported and they are loved unconditionally. And that's really important for empaths, that they are really loved unconditionally. And that if children in their school or whatever is bullying them, that that they're protected, they're always, you are there for them and you are their greatest champion. It's important to for them to know that they are loved and protected. And at some point, you could even tell them that, they're taking on energies of others that they don't even realize it. At some point, you could have a conversation with them about what it means to be an empath. And you could say that it's actually a superpower because when you are an empath, you're very intuitive and you understand people. And those empaths make the greatest healers. They do. So it's like I said, it's always a two-sided coin. So you can tell your child that it's a power that they have. It's a superpower that they have. And then they need to see their empathic abilities as a power rather than something that's they feel disenfranchised. That it's actually, you coin it that it's a power that they have, special power that God has given them. And so when you reframe it like that, like, wow, it's a special power that I have, and I could use it for the highest and best good. I could use it to help others and help myself. Then all of a sudden, that shift in the meaning becomes empowering as opposed to disempowering because often empaths feel disempowered. Hi Ella, I am glad I am not alone. Oh, that's wonderful. Ava, hi there, Moon. Is it wise to be very mindful of what sort of content to consume? I am also super sensitive and an empath, and I feel so easily drained by others, especially at crowded offices. Yeah, yes. You really must make sure that you edit your content that you consume, whether it's on social media, whether it's on TV. Make sure, or what movies you watch. Like, I can't watch, I really can't watch horror. When I was younger, I was able to watch horror films, but now I can't. I really just can't. I can't watch that kind. I can't watch like horror films anymore. I'm just too sensitive to that kind of stuff. I can't watch doomsday scenarios and all that stuff. I can't watch. I mean, there's a lot of things I can't watch. My favorite videos that I watch are like animal videos, like those stories of rescues. Like I love there's a YouTube channel called Dodo. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's always a story of this a dog or a pet or an animal that was abandoned that came from a bad situation, and then at the end of the video the animal is in a good place. And so I love that. I love the fact that every video that they have has a happy ending, that the animal goes to their forever home, is well taken care of. So I watch a lot of videos. I like videos like animal videos that show, oh, now this animal is in a good place and is in their forever home and they feel safe and they feel loved and they have a great family around them. So I love videos like that. That makes me feel like it makes me feel uplifted and inspired. So those are the types of videos that I like to watch. Um, and I also love to watch, spiritual videos of beautiful messages of hope, faith, things like that. So videos that lift me up and not bring me down. Doomsday videos, I can't watch those, like I said. So yes, please curate what you watch. Curate what you watch. That doesn't mean that you can't watch uncomfortable videos, but limit them. Limit how much of that you, because if you consume too much of it, it's not going to be good for empath. I would say, limit. I mean, sometimes you want to watch news that might not be so positive, right? Sometimes you want to watch because you want to know what's going on in the world, right? You want to, kind of be with reality in some ways. And so you want to watch some videos, but just limit how much of that low frequency videos you watch, because if you watch too much of it, it's going to start making you feel depressed and anxiety and stress. Okay. Hi, Milky Way Ranch. I like that. Oh, Milky Way Ranch. Oh, look at that. You have like, is that a goat or is that a sheep? I love that. I like dodo videos too, but also get upset that the animals has suffered, and in most cases because of abusive or negligent human. Absolutely. I agree. The beginning is not so great, but the beginning, I think that what I like about the videos is that the beginning is short. The negative part about the story is tend to be short. The positive part tends to be longer. It tends to, maybe it's 20/80, whereas 20% it's okay, this animal was abused. And then 80% is the journey of getting better. And that's the part that I love, is that 80%, that journey of from here to here. And that's why. So, oh, goats. Oh, I love goats. My husband always eats goat milk yogurt. He doesn't eat, he always eats the goat milk yogurt. That's his favorite, as opposed to cow's milk yogurt. So he loves the goat milk yogurt. Yeah. So that's why I agree. I mean, I think the abuse at the hands of humans with animals is the most horrific thing. Horrific. Oh God, I can't, because I have my baby Happy here, my Min Pin Dachshund mixed mutt dog, and I love him to death. And he was abused. He was abused by the previous owner, and I just give him unconditional love. He can be aggressive because he was abused and he doesn't trust, but I give him unconditional love. Yeah. Yeah, goat milk is the best. It's the best. And I don't eat dairy, so I can't eat it, but my husband loves goat milk and he eats it as a dessert. He puts like frozen fruit and he puts like nuts, like pine nuts, and then he puts a little bit of honey and he mixes it together with goat's milk and he eats, generally that's his dessert. And he never gets sick of it. Okay, Ella Watson. I wear black tourmaline bracelet on my left hand. I followed your advice for getting a black protector. Oh, that's so great. That is so great, Ella. I'm so glad that you do that. And make sure you clean the stone every so often. Okay, make sure that the stone, you could put it under the sun. You could do a bell, ding, ding, ding. You could do sage around it. So make sure every so often you clean the bracelet. Yeah, it is yummy. And it takes him like, 30 seconds to make it because there's no cooking, right? You just take the yogurt, you take frozen fruit. He puts pine nuts, it's usually pine nuts, and then it's squeeze a little bit of honey. And that's his he eats it almost every day. And he never gets sick of it. He never gets sick of that dessert. So I said, okay, it's pretty healthy. So I'm for it. Okay. So what are some of the things now, next stage? What are some of the things can you do if you're an empath and you're absorbing all this low frequency energy? What are some of the things that you can do? And so if you're an empath and you're going into conferences and situations where you know there's going to be people, I set a lot of intention. So usually what I do if I'm going to a party, I'm in my car, I take a couple of minutes in my car and I call upon the dragon energy. And you could call upon any energy. You could call upon whatever, it could be Mother Teresa energy, it could be Jesus and whatever works for you. Call in this beautiful energy that is pure, high frequency energy. Call upon that light and just see it run through you, all the chakra system, your crown, third eye, throat, heart, sacral, root, and let it just see it go down. And say an intention. So I usually say I call upon my dragons to I call upon the fire light from my dragons to come and cleanse me energetically and put a shield around me put a bubble around me, an energetic shield, so that I may be protected from low frequency energies when I enter this event. So I set a real powerful intention. And I've got my, black crystal with the dragon, the two dragons. I wear that. So make sure you set that intention. Call upon your spirit, call upon the higher spirits to protect you. So I do that. And I set an intention out loud. Thank you for protecting me from any low frequency energies. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for allowing me to meet only high frequency individuals. I always do this. And I tell you, whenever I go to events, I rarely meet low frequency people. I don't remember the last time I met one. I mean, they're all the people are just lovely, pleasant, beautiful people. So it works. It really works. But set that intention. So take a few minutes to do that before you go into. You could also do that during the holidays, when you got family and you know that there's some low frequency people in your family that's always complaining and you know that they're complainers and stuff. You could do that before you go into a holiday event or meet with your family. So that's really important to do that. And setting that intention and calling upon your spirit guides, calling upon the higher beings, the divine beings to help you. They will help you. And I always say, thank you for allowing me to meet high frequency individuals where I will have beautiful conversations like that. I always say that. And that also, that intention allows me to meet great people. So set that intention and put that energetic shield around you. The other thing you could do is when, let's say, you're in front of people and these people feel low frequency, right? They're saying things and you don't like what they're saying, and you feel like your energy is just going down like this, and you're like, oh, like you want to get out of there, but for some reason you can't. Just close your eyes for a little bit and just see yourself as wave energy, just this, because you are 99.999% wave energy, and just see whatever energy they're projecting towards you, just see it go right through you. It goes right through you because you're a wave. Nothing, so you're not holding on to anything. Just see it go right through you. Just and all of a sudden, like their words become wah, 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 like you can't really hear what they're saying. You're like tuning them out. So tune them out. Just see yourself as this wave energy and tune them out. Like see that all of that energy that's coming at you, just see it go right through you. That's really, really important. And I've done that a few times, and it has helped me deal with the situation because, they're going, blah, 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 and you're like, you feel like, oh, I want to get out of here. But for some reason, you can't. Like, how do you manage when somebody's doing that in front of you, right? It's you don't want to because you don't want to be holding on to what they're projecting at you. You don't want to be holding on to it. So see yourself and just see it go right through you, go right through you, go right through you. That's what you want. Okay. Ella says, I use YouTube Sound Bell because and full moon. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, Ella. Good for you. Ella says mine is Archangel Michael. Wow, I love Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is a very protective energy, right? It's like the warrior protective energy. And so yes, definitely. It could be any energy that you feel is protecting you. That this energy represents protection. And for me, the dragon energy represents protection. So I call upon two dragons to send me protective energy. And because I travel quite a bit, I use, I call upon my dragons a lot because I'm here, I'm there, everywhere. Next week, I'm going to be, though, tomorrow and Friday, I'm going to be in another town for and I'll be traveling tomorrow and Friday. So again, I'm constantly calling upon these protective energies. Hi, Sophie Poe, how are you? Is that why people are so nasty to us and take advantage of us? Okay. Well, usually people who are nasty, yeah, empaths tend to be taken advantage of. And people who are generally more narcissistic in the narcissistic profile, they really smell empaths. Because empaths are compassionate and they're sensitive to others, and they could smell that from a mile away. So, yes, empaths tend to be taken advantage of because of that, because they're very compassionate, they're very sensitive, and so narcissistic, energies can smell that and they can feel that. So, yes, so this is where you have to be really careful. And this is another thing that empaths, you must set healthy boundaries. That's really important. If you don't set healthy boundaries, you can really be taken advantage of. And it's true. You could really be taken advantage of if you're not setting healthy boundaries. And so if you have a family member, maybe you can't get rid of this family member because they're your family member, right? It could be a parent, it could be a sibling, and you're just like, oh God, I have to deal with them. And they're always asking me for something. They're asking me for money. They're asking me for this. They're asking me for help constantly. And I never get anything in return, right? So a lot of times empaths, they feel like they're giving, giving, giving because, and they're being taken advantage and they're not getting anything in return. So for empath, it's really for in situation, and they want to give because they have compassion, right? You want to give. As an empath, you want to give, you want to help, you want to heal because that's you know that is who you are. And so with situations like that where people are taking advantage of you, you have to put a healthy boundary. Does it mean that you're not going to help them at all? No, it doesn't mean that. It means that you will help them to a certain point, and then after that the boundaries go up. So if somebody is asking you for money, and say, okay, I'm willing to give you this amount now to help you, but don't ask me in the future. So that's like setting healthy boundaries. Like you're helping them, yet you're not helping them forever. Like they can't come back to you over and over and over and over again for money. That there's a limit to what you're going to do. Or if somebody asks you to do something for them all the time, then set healthy boundaries. Says, yes, I can do this, but I cannot do that. I can do this, but I cannot do that. So again, it's not that you are being compassionate, you are helping, right? You are being sensitive, but you're not being taken advantage of. So healthy boundaries is really important for empaths because they could easily be taken advantage of because we are compassionate people and we love to help others. Okay, so that's a great question. So thank you, Sophie. Um, you're welcome, Sophie. That's so sweet of you. You're welcome. And so that's basically a real secret to protecting your energy as an empath is make sure you set those healthy boundaries so that people are not taking advantage of you, but yet you're still helping them in the capacity that you can help them. Because I tell you, if they start taking advantage of you, it's gonna, as an empath, you're gonna start, your energy is just gonna go down and down. And that's when it starts to go down, that's when you start feeling the anxiety, the stress, the depression. First it might feel stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. Then over time, you start to feel depressed. It's like this depression just sets in. You're like, oh, like that. And so I remember last night I was having a call with somebody. It was something to do with my AI platform for Chinese medicine. And, I could just feel my whole energy just draining because the call was it was just a difficult call. And so then I just literally closed my eyes and I saw myself as this wave energy, and it helped me. It really helped me get through the call. So I was so grateful to have that tool. You're welcome, Ella Watson. Dragon energy is awesome. Watched in Game of Thrones. Yeah, dragon energy is awesome. Yeah, what is her name? Khaleesi? Is it Khaleesi? She had her dragons, mother of dragons. She had her mother of dragons. I forget the name. I think it's Khaleesi is her name. I forget. No, no, no. It was not Khaleesi. I forget what her name was. But yeah, I did watch Game of Thrones, and I tell you, some of the scenes were really like gory, and I kind of turned away. But it's a beautiful the storytelling is great. and the visuals are amazing. And those dragons, whoa, they were amazing. So, yeah, the Game of Thrones dragon. She had her dragon. Oh, yes, Khaleesi. Okay, okay. I thought, okay, thank you. Thank you for confirming that. How do you keep your energy in crowded place? Hi, TM. I actually just went over that. So why don't you, after this, because I don't want to repeat myself for the sake of other people, watch it again. I talked about being in a crowded event, crowded conference, crowded places. I talked about that. So you might have just joined right now. So go back and watch. You'll see. You'll see. Hi, TN. Nice to see you. So okay, so does any I'm glad you liked it. Yes, I did, Ella. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any other questions or comments around this empathic energy? And so that I can address it. Okay. You're welcome, TN. You're welcome. Okay. Okay, W dear. Oh, Heidi, you love dragon energy too? Yeah, I do. I love dragon. W dear, hi, welcome. I am really struggling with anxiety that leads to me to sugar binges. Is there something I can do to heal this and be free and healthy, please? Okay, so yeah, I get it. I get it. It also it might be that you are empathic. So I gave you some of the if you watch earlier in the video, it shows you some of the signs that you are empathic. So first figure out if you're empathic. Are you really sensitive to others? Are you feeling like you're taking on other people's pain, physical, mental, emotional pain? So figure out whether you are empathic. And then what I would do is and what you're saying is it leads to sugar bins, and I get it because sugar, fat, salt, those things make us feel temporarily good, right? That's why because like when I'm stressed, I like to eat chocolate. Like I love chocolate, or I like to eat some chips, right? Because it's making me feel temporarily better. And so that's where the sugar binges are happening because you're trying to soothe yourself, right? And so the sugar is a great soother because it's sweet. So I totally understand. And so what it is this is I think you have to first have you been to a functional medicine doctor or a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner? Have you been to any practitioner like a holistic healing practitioner? Because a holistic healing practitioner will look at everything. It will look at your lifestyle. It would look at your stress. It will look at your body. It will look at your mind, body, and soul. It won't just look at, Western doctor will just look at one thing. And I'm not discarding Western doctors. I think they have a wonderful place and wonderful role to play. But a holistic practitioner, because I feel like you're at a place where you need some help, that you might not be able to manage it on your own. That because you're doing these sugar binges, now your body is like craving, it's addicted to sugar, right? And so this is a time when I would try to find a functional medicine doctor, a naturopathic practitioner, or even a Chinese medicine who can look at you holistically, the whole of you, and come up with some kind of a program that starts to help you to detox those things, detox the sugar. And meditation. I don't know if you do any meditation. The meditation is to help clear the soul and come home to your soul and connect with the divine. Because whenever you clear the white noise of this, you're connecting to your soul, coming home to your soul and connecting to the divine. And when you connect to the divine and your higher self, there's only peace and serenity. So I don't know if you do any type of activities like that make you feel like you're peaceful, you're coming home to your soul. Like I know that when I spend time with nature, I always feel like I'm coming home to my soul. So whether I'm by the lake, in the forest, in the mountains. So what are the things that make you feel like you're coming home to your soul? What are the things that make you feel connected to your higher self, connected to the divine? Those are the activities that you should do more. And Move away, remove yourself from low frequency individuals, right? Individuals that are always complaining, always, that negative energy. Remove yourself from people like that completely for the moment, if you can. So those are some of the things that you do. But I think a functional medicine doctor and coming up with a really smart regimen of how to detox your body and how to get into the right diet and maybe do some herbs and stuff, the right herbs. I think that could help. But these are some of the things, these are some of the suggestions, okay? Okay. Let's send some wonderful prayers for W. Deer, for W. Deer's health and wellness. Dear God, spirits, and their masters, divine creative and spirit team around W. Deer, please help this beautiful soul to allow her to alleviate anxiety and detox from all the sugar binges. Please show her the way and guide her and show her to the right practitioners, the right people, the right energies to help and support her healing journey. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Liz Gonzalez. Wonder. Oh, thank you so much. Love you too. Uh, you're sensitive to Taurus. What's Taurus? Uh, I was a sponge for 40 years. Oh, wow, Liz Lily Gonzalez. Wow, you were a sponge too. Wow, the fact that you came to a realization of that, that's amazing because there are people that are empathic their entire life and they never realize it. So it's wonderful that you do. I have tried some and not yet gotten right help. Okay. Um, exactly. The sugar is bad. Yes, the sugar is it could be very addictive. I get it. Because I could get addicted to chocolate, I love chocolate. And if you give me a box of chocolate and I'm depressed, I might eat the whole thing. So that's why I generally don't keep chocolate in my house because if I'm depressed or anxiety ridden, I might eat the whole box. So trust me, I get it. Uh, Lily Gonzalez. Now I learned to transmute and protect myself. Oh, beautiful. Congratulations, Lily. I'm so proud of you. You should pat yourself on the shoulder and the back. Heidi says, I have occasionally forgotten to wrap myself when leaving the house or going in a store and will be affected some way or another and make sure I protect myself next time. Yeah. I get it. If you're going in and out of a store and it's fast, then maybe it's okay. But if you're going to spend, I mean, you can still absorb low frequency energies wherever you go, right? But especially if you're going to spend like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours at something or longer, then definitely do that protection. But if you're going in and out, let's say you're going just to buy something and you're coming right out, you could do a quick one. You could do something for 30 seconds and it could work. But I would definitely do it especially for the longer events, the longer parties, the longer events. Um, hey Heidi, you could get obsidian, smoky quartz, or black tourmaline. Yes, those are all wonderful energy protectors. They're all wonderful energy protectors. Black crystals in general, and also sometimes I put garlic. Garlic is also an energetic protector, like a clove of garlic. I put it in a pocket. So, so I've done that before. Okay. I am a tiger. Can dragons help me? Whatever energy that you feel safe around. So if it's a tiger, then call upon the tiger energy. If you feel that the tiger can protect, if you feel safe, then call upon the tiger. It's whatever energy that you feel. Like for instance, the other person said Archangel Michael. Beautiful. It could even be, for some of you who are Christian, it could be Jesus. I've called upon Ganesha, the Hindu Ganesha. I've called upon Shiva sometimes. So, and I've even called upon the Buddha energy. Okay. Ella, I wish you can share. From my place, obsidian is common. You can collect it in volcanic regions. I think you could get obsidian from these online spiritual stores now. So you could probably find black crystals online from online spiritual stores. Okay, TN says, does empath tend to absorb more negative energy or it's a mental thing? Yes, empaths tend to absorb energy because their energy centers are open. In human design, they're open. They're open. So there's an emotional center in human design and it's open. And because it's open, you could take in. So yes, That's why they'll take in the negative energy. Whereas if it's not open, then you're more like broadcasting versus taking in. And so whatever energies around, whether it's negative or positive, they'll take in. So if there's negative energy, of course, the empaths will take it in much more easily. Yes. You're welcome, W dear. Heidi says, I had a weird experience once when I forgot. I noticed this guy walking behind me. I immediately felt a hot sensation felt so weird. Listen to that. Listen to that. Do not question because every cell in your body is telling you something. Okay. So listen to that, Heidi. I would definitely listen to that. Uh, okay. I have sent out Oh, Ella. Heidi says to Ella, I have sent out boxes of quartz. I think everyone should use some Colorado. Oh, Colorado quartz. Yes, because you live in Boulder. Oh, wow, that is so cool. Very cool. Wow, that's very cool. Thank you, Heidi, for doing that for Ella. That's so sweet of you. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. What beautiful energy. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love the fact that we're all supporting each other. I just love that. Thank you so much for supporting each other. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. I love you. I love you all. Okay, so if we don't have anything, let's clear the energy of the room. I'm gonna go. I have a conference call in like 15 minutes. And so let's clear the energy. I'm going to reset my energy and then I'll see you guys again next week. Dear God, angel, spirit guides, ascended masters, divine creator, thank you so much for allowing us to create this sacred space on the topic of protecting your energy, especially when you are an empath. Thank you so much for guiding these beautiful souls in this room, beautiful souls that want to help each other. And all the empaths, please protect them and keep them safe and show them to their beautiful powers and talents and gifts to be able to heal others in a way that others cannot. So thank you so much for your continued guidance, your continued support, your continued wisdoms, your continued protections, and most importantly, your unconditional love. And so it is. Namaste. Okay, much love and blessings to all of you.